All right, so we are ready for Mighty Switch Force 2 with Orion. Good morning, Orion. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Gambit. I am doing quite well. And rest assured, this is my actual voice. The Discord's not acting up on you, so everything is working as intended.
Sounds good. So what are we looking forward to in this run?
Lots of honest platforming done in a really quick and decisive manner.
All right, I'll let you go ahead and get us started. I'll be right here waiting for you.
All right, sounds good. Timer will start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Mighty Switch Force 2. This game was made by WayForward Technologies, who are also known for the Shantae series, and this is honestly a pretty cool run. There are 4 different things you can do as the main character, Patricia Wagon here. You can move, you can jump, you can shoot your hose, and on top of that, as you're probably seeing right now, you can switch. Switching makes it so these gold blocks here can be moved between the foreground and background to add an extra layer of depth to the platforming that is done in this game. And this is the Any % New Game Plus run, which is where I will actually be using the Mighty Hose. And what this Mighty Hose does is pretty cool stuff. I take things out in one shot, as you just saw. And on top of that, I can actually douse fires much faster than the regular hose can. And on top of that, there are dirt blocks that'll be coming up in the next level that I will clear much faster as well. So the objective of this game is for every level, I need to capture the once incarcerated turned damsels in distresses hooligan sisters, and then hit the end of the level here with Corporal Gendarmer here to continue on to the next level and rescue more of these hooligan sisters here. So here are those dirt blocks in question. As you can see, I just chew through them with the hose. And this level also introduces these launch blocks that will shoot me in the direction the arrow points due to switching while being inside of it. So there's nothing too fancy about this level aside from that, mainly just an introduction to this new mechanic as you go along. Mighty Switch Force is always excellent at introducing new mechanics and new things in a way that makes sense to the players. So with that, we will continue on to Incident 3. So, Incident 3 is a vertical level, basically just working my way up from the bottom there, and this level introduces 2 new things. They are the wood blocks and these little stone enemies that are on fire. In the New Game Plus route, you actually need to use, or the New Game route, excuse me, you need to use these rocks to burn through the wood blocks. But with the Mighty Hose, not only can this hose douse things with water, it can burn up these wood blocks, so it makes the run much faster due to that. Alright, so that was a bit of a risky strat there that's going to cost me a little bit of time here. Basically trying to save myself another jump and switch there. But no worries, we'll continue on as normal and finish up this level. Alright, so coming up is Incident 4, and it introduces this concept that these turtle guys, they are actually tied to these gates, and once you remove them from the level, the gates will open. In the New Game route, you actually need to manipulate these turtles with all of these different launch blocks around them to basically try to find a way to beat them, and luckily with the hose, all I have to do is spray them and we're good to go. So the rest of the level is playing it as intended for the most part here, so if there are any donations or plugs you need to do in the meantime, please feel free to do so.
Thank you so much. Don't have any new donations at the current moment, but I do want to remind everybody we do have a bid war coming up that still has time if you want to get a name of a skater in for Tony Hawk's Underground. Right now, Baguette Yoshi is still in the lead at $42, but that can easily change. We still got a good hour or so before that run. So feel free to go ahead and get some donations in for that if you would like.
Perfect, thank you for that. So yeah, that was Incident 4, and now we're going to be moving on to Incident 5. So Incident 5 is one of the first of a few levels that will actually utilize a death warp. And basically what I'll be doing is trying to avoid some checkpoints throughout the level to allow me to do that. And these checkpoints are these fire hydrants here. If I were to trip them, you would actually see an ugly checkpoint dog, that is the canonical name, pop up from those fire hydrants there. So I'm going to do my best to save you from having to see this dog and try to get through this level as quick as I can. So here's another one. Got over that just fine there. And now we're kind of on the home stretch. So just gonna clear up these dirt blocks, grab this last hooligan sister here, and work our way to the top here to grab this last hooligan sister and then have some FaceTime with the foreground there. So now, all I have to do is hit the end of the level. So now Incident 6 is switch block the level. It is also very fast, so if you blink you might miss it. You have maybe 10 seconds to do another plug or something, so if you're interested, please feel free.
No real plugs here, just chat saying that all doggos are cute doggos, even if they're ugly fire-hydrant doggos.
I completely agree. The canonical name is definitely not how I feel about those dogs. Alright, so Incident 7 introduces what I like to call phase blocks. There are red and blue blocks, and basically if you switch while standing on them, they will continue to stay in the foreground as you continue on through the level. This adds another layer of complexity and just cool stuff to the platforming in this game here, and is honestly one of the reasons why I really enjoy this game, because there are some puzzles that also utilize these phase blocks as well. So I'm going to get them all together here so I can hop on top of these gold blocks here, and then let's split them up again for this next segment here. Now, coming up here, normally you'd want to try to get them synced up, but as you can see with them split up like that, I can actually do a quick jump and switch and just bounce right down through the floor there. And now I'm getting them back in sync again to grab that hooligan sister. And now we're just gonna crash our way through the rest of the level. Now getting all of the blocks in sync like this allows me to play with the level geometry a little bit, where I can just keep them all in sync and use these open spaces to kind of work my way through the rest of the level here. And it'll look a little crazy coming up here, but I can make it through little spaces like that just fine as well, and even just skip the rest of the platforming there to make it to the end of the level there. So now, for Incident 8, this is mainly a run and gun level. There's really not too much to talk about. There's a pretty tight jump at the beginning here that I'm going to go for, and if I miss it, I'll just try it again, but forego the difficult jump, and hey, that worked. So I guess at this point, I would like to leave comms open here for plugs, donations. Heck, if there's questions for me, I'm happy to answer them as well.
I don't see any questions, don't have any donations at the moment, but I just do want to remind you guys, consider subscribing to Midwest Food Fest or cheering bits. All Twitch revenue we receive during this event will go towards able gamers, and of course if you have Twitch Prime, feel free to use that to subscribe for free for this month. As I said, that money will go towards able gamers.
Excellent. Yes, able gamers is a great cause, bringing the ability to enjoy games to everyone. That's something you should definitely support if you're out there, so please, by all means, consider donating and subscribing with Twitch Prime, or heck, even your own card if you like, and yeah, it's always good to support just wonderful groups like Able Gamers. Alright, so I'm working my way to the end here. And now we are moving on to Incident 9. And I think I see in chat Tempest asking if I run the other Mighty Switch Force games, and yes, I do. It's something that I haven't done yet, but I am capable of running Mighty Switch Force as well as its HD remake, the Hyperdrive Edition. That is something that I will be planning on doing at some point in time, but my first big goal is to just push this game as far as I can. So this level introduces these blocks that'll actually direct your hose in the direction they're facing. So all of these puzzles that I'm working my way through are routed out and ready to go. So it's just a matter of working my way through, shooting my hose, and saving these hooligan sisters.
I got time to squeak in a quick donation?
Absolutely.
I got a $5 donation from Durs2212. It says, keep up the great work, Orion, and all the other speedrunners for this awesome event. And they put that towards naming the Diamond Pearl rival character, Jagoro.
Awesome. Thank you very much for supporting. So, with that, we mop up this level here, and now we're going to continue on to Incident 10. And Incident 10 is another run-and-gun kind of level. There's not too much to say specifically about any special platforming strategies, but one thing to definitely call out is that the level's a lot busier than others. As you see, there's lots of dirt blocks, there's lots of enemies, there's lots of fire, and one thing you're going to see me do, instead of just shooting the hose full blast here, I'm kind of pumping it here, and this is to try to mitigate a lot of the just distractions on the way to the end of the level here. It's a pretty involved level due to that. There's nothing too much to call out otherwise. One cool thing here is that I can just kind of jump up here instead of looping my way around there. Taking a lot of damage here, but being able to tank it with all of the health drops is very helpful. And yeah, there's not much else to say about this level. There is one thing that comes up at the end I'd like to call out, but yeah, if there's any further plugs, donations, or anything, please feel free to let me know.
Just a reminder that after that Tony Hawk run, we do have the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix run coming up. We are still a little bit short on reading that cutscene glitch showcase, so feel free to get some donations in for that as well if you do want to see it. I've been told it is a great cutscene showcase.
So, Incident 11 right here is honestly one of the most fun individual levels to work through. Basically, there's individual puzzles kind of linked to each of the Hooligan Sisters, but due to the routing of this level, most of the puzzles are trivialized for all intents and purposes, especially with the Mighty Shot involved. So, the first one, as you saw, I just kind of manipulated the switch blocks that were already in place to free up that Hooligan Sister. And this one here, you kind of have to play as intended. There's nothing special you can really do with that. But now, after gathering this Hooligan Sister, it's time for a Death Warp. That'll bring me right back up to the top of the stage to continue with the left side of it. And with this, I'll just free up this Hooligan Sister here. Let's do some switch block manipulation here to get access to that one. And then now line everything up to free her up. And then Death Warp one more time. And since I spawn right at the top, it's perfect. Nice and quick. So Incident 12 is the bigger brother of the earlier incident that was a vertical level. Similar to that, there's really not too much to talk about in this level, so feel free to fill the cons with comments, with donations, plugs, whatever you like.
I don't have any donations, but I can go ahead and remind everybody that MWSF2020 is being restreamed in French by our friends over at the Baguette Restream. They've been working with us for many marathons in a row. We always appreciate their support. You can find their French restream at twitch.tv/baguette_restream.
Alright, that is excellent. That is not as excellent, though. So, with freeing up this Hooligan Sister here, generally it takes me 2 cycles of those rock guys there to free her up. but since I switched at just the right time, I was able to actually clear up the 3 blocks I needed to get access to that Hooligan Sister, so excellent event, followed by a bit more of an unfortunate one. Now, Incident 13. This incident is probably one of the more difficult incidents. Main reason being for that jump there. You pretty much abuse the geometry of the level to get to that Hooligan Sister without looping all the way through the beginning part of that level there. And now, I just do a bit of switch block manipulation to get to this Hooligan Sister. But if red and blue blocks weren't enough for you, we now have green blocks. And this adds yet another layer of complexity to the platforming in this game. With this part here, there's nothing too fancy to call out, just doing some really tight platforming to get through this rather quickly. But now, I'm actually going to try an individual level only kind of strat, not super marathon safe, and luckily, got it there. But basically, that switch between the green and the red blocks is really difficult. There's 1 block of space between them, but if you do it just right, you can get through it. So now, I'm just going to continue on through the rest of the level here. So one cool thing to call out here is that this whole next part here just consists of all of these different switch block colors. And normally you would think, I need to do a lot of manipulation of those to get through. But due to the construction of the level there, I can use all of those little spaces there just to jump through and switch back and forth to mitigate any extra switch times. And hey, ILPB, I will take that. So Incident 14, this is one of the last puzzle levels of sorts here. Whoops, let's clear up those dirt blocks there. And there we go. Brain was a little on the fritz from that PB. That's something you don't really see very often once you've grinded this game down. So as far as this level goes, it's all puzzles constructed around these red, blue, and green phase blocks here. There's nothing too crazy from a strat perspective, so once again, I'd just like to leave the floor open.
I got nothing new at the moment, but I can remind everybody that the convention Midwest Food Fest works for every summer. 2DCon has partnered with the Yeti to sell some awesome shirts, including a Midwest Food Fest 2020 shirt. Shirt costs $20 US, and a quarter of your purchase will go to support Able Gamers. So if you're interested, you can type !shirt in chat.
Alright, so I just had to snipe that turtle there, and now I'm just going to continue on through this level with the blocks mostly in phase with each other here. Let's see if I can get this here. Ah, perfect. There are 2 spots you can just kind of poke in there and get that enemy, and that one being the much more obvious, closer version. So, pretty thankful that worked out nicely. And now, we're going to work our way through the rest of the level here to the end. So moving on to Incident 15, this is yet again another run and gun level. As you can see, there was a bit of a palette swap. We're looking at more transparent blocks being used in the level, and just this beautiful city skyline with the stars in the air there. There's really not much else to talk about when it comes to this level here. So, once again, I would just like to leave the comms open as we finish up one of the last levels before the end of the game here.
Alright, well I do have a $1 donation from TempestMask1000, who says, "Good morning, Midwest Food Fest. After seeing the Stardust Shrugs Final Fantasy VIII run, I'm hoping we'll be able to meet some more incentives today. Shout out to Orion, though. I'm pretty sure you're the second robot I've ever seen doing a speed run, the first being our magnificent Overlord Taskbot. Way forward games are fun time, no doubt."
All praise the Overlord Taskbot. Yeah, definitely happy to let Taskbot have the title of one of the more well-known and first robots in the community, but I definitely have plans to stick around for a while, so you will definitely have a chance to see me more. So in typical Way Forward fashion, or Mighty Switch Force fashion anyway, we reach the final level, which is dreaded by most, but still pretty neat in its own right, the auto-scroller. So there's truly not much to say about an auto-scroller in general, and especially with this one. So I guess I'll do some early shoutouts at this point in time. I do want to shout out Midwest Speed Fest for taking my first live stream with my new hardware here. I have not streamed on my own channel with this new hardware, and is something I do plan on doing with a more traditional debut stream in VTuber fashion. So thank you for taking that from me, because it's truly a pleasure running this wonderful game for you here at Midwest Speed Fest. And I do want to also shout out everyone involved with the Orion project. This is honestly something that was kind of done in a mad rush for Midwest Speed Fest, so it's just a beautiful and fun thing that we were able to get it all together and be able to showcase me running a wonderful game for you all. Shoutouts to the Baguette Restreamers for restreaming in another language. I sadly am only capable of speaking English, so I don't have the ability to do that myself. So thank you very much, and thank you for providing those services to Midwest Speed Fest here. And yeah, as far as shoutouts go, that's all I really have. I will be having a more formal debut stream at some point in the near future. So if you're interested in knowing more about what I'm about and, you know, learning a little more about me in general, please feel free to shoot me a follow on Twitch, and yeah, that'll be coming very shortly here. That was a little unfortunate, but yeah, we're just gonna finish up this level here, and in the meantime I'll leave comms open for further donations, plugs, and anything at this point in time.
I got no new donations at the moment, just a quick little plug for Midwest Speed Fest, raising money in support of Able Gamers. Able Gamers gives people with disabilities custom gaming controllers and special assortive technology, like devices that let you play with your eyes, so they can have fun with their friends and family. They're also a registered 501c nonprofit, so you live in the United States, your donations are tax deductible. Additionally, your employer may match your donation. To donate, go to speedrun.com/MWSF2020/donate, or type !donate in chat. You can also apply your donation to various bid wars and incentives. To learn more about Able Gamers, go to ablegamers.org.
So if anybody was following what I just did there is a certain part of the level that can pop me up above the level itself. I'm not sure if that was a testing thing that was left in, or a little Easter egg for people trying to get through this level quickly, but yeah, that takes off a considerable chunk of time from the run and the last bit of the auto-scroller here. So time will be on the 6th cycle of blasting the eye of this boss here. So just need to save all of these hooligan sisters one more time, and then show this boss who's boss. And that's time right there. So I guess one more shout out before I go. Shout outs to 2DCon for being a wonderful home to Midwest Speed Fest. It's always great to have live opportunities for marathons, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for having me, everyone. So what did the time end up being after everything's said and done here?
I'm showing a time of 23 minutes, 45 seconds.
That's really good. Not sure if that's an RTA PB. The timing for this game is done in in-game time, since it goes all the way down to the millisecond. So I might have to retime this when everything's said and done here. With that being said, I do want to work through the credits here, so I can see the final time here before we cut away, because who knows, this might actually be a PB for me. So let's give it just a moment. And let's also enjoy Rescue Girl. Alright, so final time for the final level is 4:24:13. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for having me, everyone.
Thank you, Orion.